Thank you for joining this session from Tech Headaches to Tech Ecosystem, where we will discuss how to design a tech ecosystem that supports your firm's growth and innovation. Let me tell you what this talk is not about. This talk won't be about how one perfect technology will change your life. Every tech company promises to do that, but let's be honest, no system is perfect. It's also not a demo of Actionstep, though if that's what you're after, we're more than happy to oblige. We know that improving client satisfaction is a top priority for nearly half of mid-sized law firms, which, despite budget constraints, aim to compete by providing next-level client service. Investing in a well-rounded tech ecosystem that is secure and allows firms to deepen client relationships and enhance service delivery is essential to improving and delivering consistent client satisfaction. So today, I'll discuss with you how you can go from having a tech stack at your firm to building a true tech ecosystem, one that is modern, flexible, scalable, connected, open, and powerful. The session today will be interactive, so be sure to grab a pen and paper so you can take notes. I'm Oliver Tromp, the Regional Vice President of Actionstep UK. I've been at the company for 2.5 years and was previously in the financial sector for 7 years, focusing largely on tech companies. During my tenure at Actionstep, we've grown from 80 to 175 law firm customers in the UK. As I mentioned, I'm going to talk about technology and how you can design a tech ecosystem that supports your firm's growth and innovation to be a modern, client-centric firm. Throughout the session, we will explore how you can assess your current tech ecosystem, how you can build the right foundation, and how intuitive automation supports a law firm's tech ecosystem. Regardless of your role at your firm, we hope this session will help you understand your current tech stack, identify opportunities for removing bottlenecks and redundant manual work, and help you map out an ideal tech ecosystem to support your firm's business goals and client service ambitions. We will also explore how law firms can leverage innovative functionalities such as intuitive automation and workflows across their tech ecosystem to streamline their processes and enhance client experiences. By the end of this session, I hope you will feel that you've gained practical knowledge and actionable insights to optimize your firm's tech infrastructure, improve overall productivity, and support the broader business goals. So let's start with some definitions. A legal tech stack is simply all the platforms, tools, software, and hardware that your firm uses. It has not typically been optimized for how your firm works today or wants to work in the future. Instead, it has grown over time, with tools being added to solve problems as they arose. I'd like you to try something for me. Count on your hands how many different technologies you're using at your firm. You can even pause the video if you need to. Office 365, your case management, practice management, document management systems, they might be all in one or multiple, onboarding, AML, forms, telephone, legal research, bundling. I did this myself, and we use close to 20 different solutions at Actionstep. There's a lot of great tech out there these days, but it doesn't always work together very well. A tech ecosystem is a collection of technology that works harmoniously together, creating a cohesive user experience and supporting the various functions of your firm, including delivering excellent client service. You do a conflict check in your case management system, and it should trigger the AML and onboarding. Data from the AML checks and onboarding should come back into your case management system automatically. Data from the case management system should then auto-populate the required forms, and the workflow should then auto-generate letters and emails with case data. Phone calls you receive from your client should prompt you about which case it thinks the call relates to, and then bring the relevant information from the phone call into the case management system. And fee earners should then be intelligently prompted where to record time based on all this activity that they've done. Sound too good to be true? It's not. An ideal tech ecosystem helps firms operate efficiently and effortlessly. So why are so many systems disparate? This can happen for a number of reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is that many systems, especially legacy systems like on-premise or hybrid case management systems, are not open. It's incredibly difficult, costly, and time-consuming to integrate with them. Many of them have also been acquired recently, so their priorities may have shifted. If a case management provider has its own onboarding solution, it may not allow you to integrate with a different provider, even if that provider is better. Flexible and independent cloud systems like Actionstep, on the other hand, make integration seamless. Anyone can integrate with us, as we have an open API. We already integrate with dozens of other providers and are always adding more. Customers are building their own integrations. Partners are building their own integrations. We think that law firms should be able to choose the systems that work best for their firm, that they believe are best in class, without being hindered. So where is your firm at on its tech journey? These are the areas of functionality that firms typically need to support with technology. Quite overwhelming, I know. It happens fast. Lawyers, administrative professionals, IT teams, and other staff at law firms tack on numerous point solutions, single-purpose tools that often require costly customizations and rarely evolve with firm needs, and your firm ends up with an expensive, complex, outdated, and inefficient tech stack before you know it. Imagine if you're trying to manage all this in many different tools and your data is stretching across too many systems. You'll start to see rising costs, inefficiency, duplicate efforts and duplicate functionality, mistakes or data cracks, lack of visibility, complexity, and a high effort to manage. Has anyone experienced any of these things in the past year? Some of you listening have probably experienced that today. Now, don't get me wrong, point solutions are not a bad thing. Some things will always be covered by point solutions because they're either specialized or they operate at the edges of processes. But I would encourage you to think about broader firm goals when architecting your tech stack, not fixing one problem or need at a time. So here's where our work really starts. Step 1, take a few minutes to think about the technology you currently have covering these areas. Again, pause the video if you need to so that you can write these down. You may see some gaps. Perhaps you don't need those, or perhaps these are opportunities to better support certain functions at your firm. Practice management software is often at the center of a law firm's tech stack, but it will likely be surrounded by several point solutions. Examples of technology that could be point solutions are marketing or lead generation tools, client intake, forms and precedents, searches, AML. Once you have taken inventory of all the different technologies you're using, it's important to come up a level from functionality. That takes us to step 2. For step 2, I would encourage you, again, to think about the broader firm goals. Start by sorting your tech inventory into 3 simple buckets. These will help you narrow down your areas of greatest need. The 3 key areas that a tech stack and ecosystem should support are growth management, so marketing, relationships, CRM, demand gen, lead capture, essentially how you manage, communicate with, and convert leads into clients. The second key area is work management. Practice management software, document management software, one consolidated database that ties into your CRM, triggers tasks and actions as work moves through processes, and obviously maps to billing and accounting. And document management, the ability to create, store, and access versioned documents, which wraps back into practice management, again, ties to billing and accounting, and ends up being the work product of matter management. And the third is business management, visibility across your firm's activity and data, having one set of data, no silos, transparency across systems, data, people, reporting across intake, matter management, billing, profitability, having all of your data available so that you can make informed business decisions. Step 3 is to evaluate these buckets of grouped technology. Which of these three, growth, work, and business management, are best supported by your current technology? Where are there gaps or opportunities to strengthen tech capabilities? How do the opportunities line up with your priorities as a firm? Now, if you had to pick one software that you could not live without, which would it be? What do you love about that software? Is it user-friendly? Is it reliable? Do they have great customer service? Maybe you've been using it for a really long time and you've seen the product improve over time. Now, conversely, what if you could axe one software that you're currently using? You'd never have to use it again. It would be replaced by something else better immediately. Which software would that be? What don't you like about that software? Is it clunky? Is it unreliable? Is it difficult to use? Has their support completely gone out the window? Have they doubled the price on you in the last 3 months? There's a lot of reasons why law firms are unhappy right now with certain technologies that they're using. And I'm here to say it doesn't have to be that way. There's really good technology out there, but it requires a little bit of effort to evaluate it and to decide if it's right for you. Step 4, assess your current tech stack against these 5 characteristics of great technology. It's essential to what you should be looking for when selecting the tools in your tech stack that will form your ecosystem. A great tech ecosystem feels streamlined. You aren't logging into a ton of tools, and data is shared and available when and where you need it. Because cloud tech has open APIs, you can harvest data or integrate with other cloud software and share data. It's streamlined. A great ecosystem is also flexible and accessible from anywhere, on any device. Because cloud tech is browser-based and runs from a secure data center and requires no local install, there's no infrastructure or security worries from your end. It's flexible. Cloud tech typically comes on a monthly subscription that you can dial up and down as you grow with no obligation, so it supports whatever future growth your firm is working towards. It's scalable. And it has an adaptable operating system that can grow, evolve, and react to changes in your firm. And again, it has an open API, which makes it extensible to other tools you're adding now or in the future, creating the longevity of your system. It's adaptable. And finally, a great ecosystem should automate repeat or redundant tasks and make your life easier and less admin heavy. In addition, cloud tech is always being updated automatically, so look for tech that automates. This step often takes the most time and requires the input of other key stakeholders. Step 5 focuses on evaluating your current technology stack and creating your ideal technology ecosystem. Think about your must-haves, things that you cannot start or end your day without. What about your nice-to-haves, things that might make your work easier but are essential? Do you experience bottlenecks and redundancies? These can be a great indicator of what to fix first. Does your firm experience any of the following? Duplicate work across systems, waiting on manual tasks to be completed before processes can move on, taking a long time to locate information or determine a case's status, frustrating staff and clients, difficulty in validating the accuracy or timeliness of information, inability to evaluate the profitability of various departments, clients, or matters. Once you've determined bottlenecks and redundancies, think about incorporating intuitive automation across your system. Which processes are particularly manual and repeated, but are not judgment tasks? Or which processes need better consistency? Examples might be certain administrative tasks, reminders, document automation, or common client communications. Now, think about integrations. Are there tools that you wish shared data or functionality? Have you ever found yourself having to input the same data twice, or 3 times, or 4 times? This should not happen in 2024. Software tools that can't exchange data result in data silos that reduce visibility into performance, hinder collaboration, and stress staff out with duplicative work. Users end up having to log into multiple systems to complete a single task or workflow, delaying completion and reducing productivity. Here can be a really good idea to put yourself in your client's shoes. I recently hired a lawyer for a piece of work. They work at a well-respected mid-tier firm, so I was excited to see how easy the onboarding would be. They sent me an email with 5 attachments to fill out, and they weren't even editable PDFs or Word documents. It took me over an hour to complete the documents, then I sent them back through email. Not necessarily the most secure way to share data. All in all, it took that firm over 2 weeks to onboard me and begin the work. It put me off from the start. My wife, on the other hand, hired a lawyer recently, a small firm, but also well-respected and recommended. I know this firm actually, as they use Actionstep as their core practice management system and one of our partners for AML and onboarding. My wife didn't know this though. Now, my wife is exceptionally talented at what she does, but she's not a lawyer, nor is she in tech. She's a luxury wedding and fashion photographer. So after I knew she had completed the AML and onboarding, I just casually asked her what it was like. She was a bit confused and she said, well, it was easy, intuitive. It took me 5 minutes. She did it from her phone, sitting on the sofa, watching Gilmore Girls. In less than a day, she had been onboarded and the work was moving forward. That's the kind of experience that every law firm should be striving to give their clients. Easy, painless, quick, professional. So that takes us to step 6. We get asked the question all the time, what should we be looking for in an ideal tech ecosystem? How do you decide what goes into your ecosystem? Where do you start? Here's what we've seen work really well across thousands of law firms. First, you need one core system that accomplishes most of what you need. This would be your practice management system. And from there, you can add complementary tools to get you the rest of the way. Things like DMS or AML, onboarding, and these must seamlessly integrate. So how do you do this? Start at the center, back to your firm goals. Think about the things you want your firm to do exceptionally well, then start with a system that helps you achieve these goals the most effectively. Keep in mind, the more functionality you have in one system, the better. Why? because managing lots of point solutions is labor-intensive and costly, and you end up with data silos, bottlenecks, and loss of productivity. Then pick your spots for integrations. Complementary point solutions, as I mentioned, might be things like NetDocuments, DocuSign, Office 365, Catcher, and they're effective when they're best in class. Here you see an example of a well-structured ecosystem of tools that share data and work together to accomplish firm goals. No surprises, Actionstep is the legal practice management system underpinning the entire system. It performs all the functions in the green boxes. Office 365 then integrates with Actionstep and performs the functions in the orange boxes. These two systems support 90% of your firm's functions when integrated. We do have our own document management system, but we also have NetDocuments integrated here, a more advanced document management solution, and you can see its functionality is integrated deeply with Actionstep. In the purple boxes along the top, we have best-in-class point solutions that integrate with Actionstep to perform specific functions, reinforcing streamlined, flexible, scalable, adaptable, and automated operations. So that's our example. Yours will likely be different. I hope that this session has been useful and given you some ideas of how you can help steer your firm in the direction of its ideal tech ecosystem. The firms that the best people will want to work for and the best clients will want to hire will be the ones that leverage the best technology to streamline operations and provide exceptional client service. For anyone wanting to improve their tech ecosystem, please feel free to reach out to me directly for a copy of your own blank tech ecosystem workbook and a free session with one of our consultants who will walk you through the workbook in order to help you craft your ideal tech ecosystem for your firm. My email is listed right here on the slide, and thank you all so much for joining.